The following podcast may contain adult language and an abundance of Chet Chet.
Chet, Chet, Chet.
So get ready, nerds, because we're talking Season 2, Episode 4, The Witchfinder. Welcome and thank you for joining us today on the Salty Nerd Podcast, where we're going to be talking about spoilers for Season 2, Episode 4 of C, our freaking favorite show ever. And I am joined, as always, by my fantastic panel of nerds. Matt Vader, 74. Welcome, sir.
Hey,
How you
here
doing?
we are.
Here we are.
Episode 4 already. How many is there?
8?
Are
6?
Are we halfway through already?
We might be.
No, I don't want to be.
I know,
right?
Well, it ends in what, like October 16th. So we have another, 4 or 5 weeks left.
Okay.
So
Yeah, we're about halfway.
probably 10 episodes in.
I have no idea. Why do I not know this?
I think it's 8.
I think it's 8 too.
So we're
It's 8.
halfway. Okay.
Anyway, Jude's here.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm
You've got
good.
something
How are you?
special on today.
Oh, I do.
No, not that. Also that.
Oh,
But no.
I have a new T-shirt on.
Yeah.
And also,
Yep, her princess bells.
yes, my royal bells.
Nice. What were you doing?
Where's my queen? Where's my queen?
Vader's upset because I didn't have time to bell his beard today.
We're gonna do that for the season finale,
Yeah.
right? We're
Like,
gonna all-
I gotta go get like a robe made out of peacock feathers and horse shit, so people could smell me and when I'm coming in. So, God, it smells so good.
That's Vader's sense.
Whore! I know Vader has been here.
Oh, to Vader.
I can smell him all over you.
Peacock feathers and horse crap. It's a great smell.
I'm gonna bottle that.
I guarantee you they use that on the show at some point.
60% of the time, it works every time.
Matthew Kadish is here.
Hey, everyone. I'm very excited to talk about this today.
Oh, God.
Particularly because one of the producers of the show, Chris Aruda, commented on one of our videos.
Yeah.
He confirmed once again that this is 500 years in the future.
Thank you.
But he also said that they're taking a little bit of liberties with the plastic bottles and tires because they wanted to give like this kind of ecological message that, this stuff can exist in the future and, people are repurposing it. But he's like, as you guys point out, we are taking a few liberties.
Yeah.
So.
And if you're gonna have a message about something like that, it's best to be subtle about it, which they kind of are doing. They're not like having the characters overly like, oh, how dare they left all this trash here. They're just rolling with it. Like, yeah, it's just part of the world.
I feel like the show creators and the showrunners are like using social media to bring out their messages because people like us who are like, what about this? And why this? And how about this? And they're like, send your message. So I feel like the official not tire of storytelling for this wonderful, oh God, I love this show so much.
It's really fun to know that they're like watching us.
Yeah,
stuff.
but we've now had the showrunner and a producer comment on our stuff.
It's making the rounds, man.
Jonathan Tropper and Chris Aruda, thank you very much for watching our
and
little podcast.
The costume designer for season 2 and 3 followed us on Instagram,
Yeah.
which was really cool. She chatted us up a little bit.
And I actually saw a really interesting interview with the original costume designer for season 1 that when we get a little further into it, I'd love to talk about.
Yeah, and she actually answered some of our burning questions
Yes.
about like why does a blind society use color and
Yes.
stuff like that.
That's really cool. All right, guys, let's get into it. Mr.
Right after this commercial break.
Oh, that's right. I get so excited about this show. I forget that we're supposed to do like money stuff. Yeah, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. And then we're going to get into spoiler for this episode. Welcome back, everybody. Hey, if you guys would like to support the podcast and get a ton of extra content in return, go to saltynerdclub.com, join our membership-only area where you guys get 4 exclusive podcasts every single month where we are just completely raw, unfiltered. We talk about more modern, up-to-date movies that are coming out. And we're also doing Apple TV's Foundation exclusively for members only. So join the community and you can get more of our awesome content and also our huge backlog of Patreon content for the past 2 years, which is substantial. So join in. It doesn't cost very much. You get exclusive access to our Discord app as well. You can join our awesome community that we have over there right now. And yeah, we have a ton of fun. So help us out. Join the club memberships. And that's what we'll be. We're hanging out with those guys. All right. Mr. Kadish, Take it away, sir.
All right, so this episode starts off with Magra getting prepared for her wedding. Queen Cain comes in and tries to comfort her sister, but Magra uses a tuning fork to literally tune her out. The queen dismisses the servant and helps bathe Magra herself, which Magra finds oddly comforting despite her distrust of her sister.
The more they build these relationship between the two of them, the better.
And I thought it was really interesting. Like, did anybody catch that the queen had like one single tear as she was bathing her sister? Like, what's up with that?
There's a history.
She knows she's going to betray her at some point.
Yeah? You think it's just like, God dang it.
Yeah.
But
there's still a sisterly sibling affection, love there, and it's normal.
Yeah,
it should be.
And it was weird to see how, like, when Queen Cain started kind of like washing Magra's hair, and Magra, despite her best efforts, found it comforting. She's like, no, don't stop, and it was a very kind of touching moment. But I think Vader hit the nail on the head when he's like, they know they're going to betray each other at some point. And so, like, that makes this growing relationship all that more difficult for them.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
I'm finding more and more things in this show that don't really have a lot to do with the story interesting. Like, it was interesting to me that she was taking a bath in milk and
lavender and honey,
and they're really going hard on the senses, on the smell thing,
which is what they were lacking last.
Which is where I was going. Which is what they weren't doing so much last year. This year, it feels like there's a reason for things. She's getting ready for her wedding, so she's taking a bath in milk and lavender, which makes total sense.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to derail you, but the peacock feathers and horse shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's hilarious because it's true.
Yeah.
Like, those kind of things matter to people.
Yeah.
Like, it's good to get, it's more world building, which is what we were missing before. And now we're getting it in space.
World building.
Yeah, Jude, why don't you explain like the costume designer's take on this? Because it seems like a good place to kind of bring that in.
So that was one of the things in this original interview with the costumer from season 1. I think her name is Trisha Somerville.
She's not on the show now, right?
I know that she was the original costume designer for season 1. I don't know that she's on season 2 or 3. But she was talking about like the original idea and plan behind this whole world. And there was a lot that went into it that didn't make it into season 1. And they said that they were using a lot of bundle dyeing, not for the color, but for the scent. And they were actually using things that were indigenous to the places where these tribes were. And
cool.
They went to a Pennsylvania, New York area, and they were like, okay, what grows here and what would we use here? And they used the animal hides, and this is this kind of society, so this is why they dress the way they do. And then in Payan with the Kansua, with the dam, it was such a wet environment because of the water in the dam. They said that there was a lot of rust involved because of like using metals and things produced rust. And they said that like when they would go to other tribes and they would do bundle dyeing with like eucalyptus to incorporate scent into the fabrics, that's why it ended up creating a color.
Like lavender is a natural bug repellent, so they do these bundle dyes, but because of the lavender, it would turn the clothes purple, even though they wouldn't know it.
Yeah, so it ended up changing the color of clothes, but the intention behind what they were doing was for scent and for natural bug repellent. And like a lot of the tribes were using like mud as a bug repellent, and that would also stain their clothing.
Yeah.
And then one thing that was really interesting was she mentioned the orgy party in season 1.
Yeah.
And she said that a lot of these people came there not just for like the de-thickening of the blood, but to sell their goods and wares. And a lot of them had sewn what they would trade into their clothing. And that was like their riches, and that they would come into this and just have what they were there to like sell and trade on them.
And the reason everyone was wearing white
That's what I was going to ask.
Because those clothes didn't have any sense to them, so that no one knew what tribe, like who was from what tribe. They were all just kind of neutral.
That makes sense.
And in addition to that, every time you see like Queen Cain wearing a red gown, that was dyed in like rose petals. And so it's supposed to smell like regal roses. And that's why it's like this deep red color and stuff like that. And I really wish the show had established this in the first season.
Because that's just such
attention to detail.
World building stuff that we were all really thirsty for.
Yeah.
It also answers the question as like, why are they, using colors?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because we were like poking fun at the show because this was never spoken or shown. Like all it would have taken was like a clip of an extra somewhere using lavender.
I still have questions about like ornamental jewelry and peacock hair pieces
Sure.
and stuff like that. But
I think Magra's little earpiece is to help her absorb more sound.
They also it is a TV show and they have to have something that's visually entertaining a little bit.
They actually did say that in Kanzawa they used a lot of feathers from birds because that's what they had in abundance of, but it was more of like a royal thing. The royals all wore feathers.
Okay.
Yeah, but it shows like the attention to detail that the production put into this, and then like the ultimately the showrunners just like were like, screw it, like we don't need this in here, and the audience is like, yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Absolutely
so
need it.
I'm glad that they're putting it in now, and I'm glad that I had the opportunity to watch that video.
Yeah.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll get the new costume designer to do an interview with us. Where
that'd be great.
Like we can find out about all the ornamental stuff and the feathers and things like that.
Yeah, the very Japanese Asian influence in this season, which I think a lot of people really really like. There's one last thing I wanted to mention about this scene was the arm cuff that Magra was wearing.
It's like a wedding band.
Yeah, it was like a wedding band, and the I don't know, handmaiden or whatever was like, you got to take that shit off. And she was like, no, I do not.
That's for Baba Voss, right?
Yeah, it's for Baba Voss. And then Queen Kane came in and he's like, are you in the habit of telling your princess what to do? Get the fuck out of here. It was just nice to see. I like that.
But it also makes sense because, you wouldn't be able to make rings in this society, like wedding bands and stuff like that. So
you don't think so?
It's commonplace.
Yeah, I think that like the metal rings are more for like royalty and stuff. And I feel like the peasants would be, because like, you need to measure fingers and you need to like forge like rings and that stuff. God bone is, expensive. So it just makes sense that they would have just kind of like something that they tie on their arms.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, what happens next?
All right, so the Baba Voss caravan has broken camp and is making their way toward Pensa. Hanawa is still reeling from the revelation that Magra is a princess, and she's wondering what else her mother hid from her growing up. Meanwhile, Paris is chastising Tamaktajun for all of his murdering, and Tamaktajun seems like all of his past sins are starting to affect him.
The character development for Tamaktajun, I'm in.
Yeah. You are.
He's like, man, I really screwed up.
He's PTSD.
Yeah, he's got some serious PTSD, and he's like regretting his entire life choice, which is, that's a heavy burden.
Well, we're just starting to see like the beginnings of that here.
Yeah, I love Tamaktajun. He's so freaking cool. The more of him, the better.
Okay, but at the same time, I'm a little bit weary of like, because I love badass Tamaktajun.
Oh yeah.
And I don't want this new like, I
sensitive.
regret all of my choices to be like, I don't kill anymore Tamaktajun.
Oh no.
I'm not okay for that.
No, he's got to be the.
He's just killing for a different reason now.
He's got to be the Ronin, right? The masterless warrior.
I like the Tamaktajun who forgot more about murdering than most people.
Yeah,
that's my Tamaktajun.
Give me that. Yeah, give me more of that. I think he's going to go through a phase where he's like, God damn it, I was fighting for the wrong side for a long time.
Now I'm going to kill everybody, but for my new cause.
Yes, that's what I want. Yes. There has to be a transition, which I'm all right with. They're kind of building up to that.
He's so good at murder. You can't waste that skill.
There's going to be a confrontation here pretty soon where he is going to have to make a choice between Magra and Queen Kane.
Oh, I think he already did.
Oh, he has made the choice.
Yeah, I think he made that choice.
But they have to show it on TV. They have to show it on the show. And it has to be epic when it does happen. So, I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
Tell you the truth, I forgot the conversation that Baba Voss had with Hanawa.
It's just more.
It was just like some father-daughter stuff.
Yeah. She said if your head fell off, you'd carry it to
Pensa.
And he's like, no, I'd make you carry it.
Yeah, it's like a little cutesy father-daughter stuff.
I thought there was a little bit of extra fluff in this episode. This was a pretty slow episode.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of action.
There was a lot of moving the story forward.
Yeah, I don't think there was any fighting in this episode.
I don't think so.
I think Kadish is about to get to the triumphant return of one of our characters.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, go for it, Kadish. What happens next?
All right, so back at Cervantes, Ito Voss is overseeing the funerals of all the soldiers Baba Voss killed during his escape. Dax, the renegade Witchfinder who tried to kill Kofun, arrives to offer Ito information in exchange for sanctuary. Dax reveals that Hanawa and Kofun are the grown sighted children of the Kane royal family. Though Ito knew Hanawa was Baba Voss's child, this revelation gives him the excuse he needs to get the Travantian Council on board with its plans to attack Pensa. Oh, and Ren finds out she totally banged a princess.
This scene was dope when Dave Bautista was like, "You came all this way to give me information I already knew.
Yeah.
Take him away and kill him." It was like,
I knew about this a week
Sell him to
ago.
the
yeah.
slavers.
It's like, I knew that shit a week ago, you pleb. Get out of here. That was cool, man. Dave Bautista being like grumpy Ito. I'm in. I like it. He's just done.
I really care for him in this.
What do you mean?
Like, I'm just loving Dave Bautista in this role.
Oh, he's great.
It's
Yeah.
good.
He really is good.
Yeah.
He fits the bill. But I like him grumpy. Like
sure.
after he got shot by Hanawa, you could tell he went from like vengeful to now he's just like, ugh. And I like that. He's just like, God damn it, man.
I just think the actor is doing a great job.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with him.
Good old brainhead.
Yeah. Well, I gotta need a backstory for that freaking
I know.
giant
I
scar.
hope we get one someday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because Baba Voss gave that to him. Right?
I hope it was him. That would be awesome.
Probably why he hates him so much.
Probably. Like, don't you dip my head. I can't help but feel it.
If I wasn't blind already, I would be.
Yeah, no, this scene was cool. I like Ito being just kind of like very flippant with this jerkwad who like, why would I need a betrayer in my midst? You know, whatever. It's classic bad guy stuff. I'm in.
Yeah. And you know what? If you are a person who betrays everything you believe in
Yep.
to go to the enemy, this is the shit that happens to you. Fuck
Yeah.
you.
Wow.
You are untrustworthy.
Yeah.
Be gone.
I get
Okay.
it.
What happens
Sell
next?
them to the slavers.
You did this.
Yes.
All right. So back at Pensa, Toad Foon arrives to find the town empty. Toad discovers that everyone is at a wedding, and Kofun is surprised to find out that the wedding is for his mother. In the palace, Magra and Kofun are finally reunited. Kofun informs Magra that Baba Voss went into Dravantis to rescue Hanawa, and also chastises her about getting married to another man. Magra doesn't have time to explain and tells Kofun to wait for her in her chamber and that she'll explain everything to him later.
You guys.
After she leaves, Toad, who overheard the conversation and obviously didn't see any of season 1, says, "I have so many questions."
You guys think that Kofun stayed where he was told to stay?
No.
No. That guy has never stayed anywhere.
No.
Except for when Toad told him to stay there. Same.
I hate Tofu so much.
I hate him so much. He's such a... Yeah.
Yeah, they have not done much to endear us to his character.
No, I don't know if they're trying not to. Like, are they purposely making him into a...
Season 3 is going to be Kofun's year.
Oh. Again, we have to specify this. Nothing against the actor.
No. The character's awful.
I hate his character so much. I see him on screen in that face that he makes, and I'm just like, oh.
Okay.
He's annoying.
I can't talk about it until we're at the end of this, but I have some theories.
All right, we'll get there. This scene infuriated me because after everything that they've been through, this twig decides to like berate his mother about something. He's no idea.
Yeah.
She's in the stratosphere compared to him. And he's just like, how could you do that?
Well,
But
the
Alex,
thing
he
is,
can see.
but also she lied to him his whole life, and he's been like struggling with that.
Yeah.
But the one who really stole the scene was Toad, where he's just sitting there listening to them. He's like, I have so many questions. I'm like, I'm right there with you, Toad.
I really like Toad. He's a
cool.
character.
Yeah.
I want to see more Toad
Yeah, me too.
with Foon.
No. Don't you bring that evil upon me, Ricky Bobby. Don't you do
You
it.
got to stop.
Okay, just hurry up, move on. What happens next?
The shipping shit's got to stop.
Back at the Voss caravan, Baba Voss has a fever and needs a healer desperately. Baba wants to continue on to Pensa, but Paris tells him he'll be dead by the time they get there. So Paris suggests that they go to the Valea tribe to get help, but Tamakta Jun said he tortured and killed so many Valea that they will not help them if he's with them. So Baba tells Tamakta Jun to fuck off and camp outside the Valea territory until he gets healed.
You guys, I can't really go there with you.
Because I killed like a lot of those guys.
I also tortured the rest of them.
Yeah, like they really don't like me. I'm just gonna. Yeah.
The only reason there's any left is because I couldn't find them all. So, yeah.
He's like, you must realize the hidden tribes were not hidden to me.
I feel like this is a problem Tamagda June's gonna have.
I feel like
pretty much anywhere he goes.
Tamagda June's one weakness is like going anywhere and not talking, because every time he speaks, they're like, "I know that voice."
Yeah, that's the dude who killed my entire village.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting to see him become a hero because he's got a uphill battle after 20 some odd years.
Who said he's gonna be a hero?
An anti-hero? Well, he's already on the side of Baba Voss.
We all like the Hound at the end of that show,
and everybody else hated him. Ooh, is Tamagda June the Hound?
He's the Hound.
You heard it here first, folks.
I'm in. I'm sold.
Right. Who do we meet when we get to
tell me about
Valeria,
the next...
whatever.
Well, hold on. I'm getting there. Jeez.
Skip it. It's boring.
This is kind of a little fluff episode, but it's not a bad thing. Just...
All right, so in Pensa, Kofun sneaks out and watches the royal wedding take place. Magra is draped in flowers and Lord Harlan is wearing a cloak of pine needles and leather, while the queen is decked out in fluffy furs. Magra and Harlan eat the blueberries of matrimony and become husband and wife, much to Kofun's horror. Kofun gets to see the queen for the first time as she gets in her jingle bell sleigh and fucks off, while Magra and Harlan receive congratulations from their wedding guests. Kofun, disgusted, tries to leave, but the one guy who can see still bumps into a bunch of blind people before running back home to cry like a little bitch.
He's the worst.
He's walking backwards.
Yeah,
He's
bumps into two blind people.
Oh, sorry,
Sorry,
dude.
guys. God, this guy's such an idiot.
He has no sense.
The other thing, what a fascinating wardrobe for the wedding ceremony.
Well, they wanted to smell good.
Oh, I want to get there now, Jude.
You do?
Yes.
Are you ready for it?
Is this the fashion report?
We can do it now if you want.
I don't know. This seems like a good time because, I mean, I got to talk about this.
Yeah, go for it.
Go for it.
Well, Juju here with a special C Royal Wedding Fashion Report. Princess Magra was a vision, no pun intended, in head to toe bridal tarp, adorned in what the queen called scented splendor. The royal couple greeted the Payan people as one, decked in his and hers garland snuggies. For her, a bridal shroud of blossom and berries to tempt the nose and the tongue. For our trend-setting groom, Lord Harlan, came cloaked in fern camouflage, rich mahogany, and Sex Panther. Our sovereign supreme, Queen Kane, performed the ceremony and then discreetly Irish exited in literal sleigh bells to head back to the palace to greet her nephew with open arms. I, for one, can't wait. I mean, sense. What's up next in episode 5 for Royal Fashion? Will Baba gussy up in his best animal hide to be reunited with his and Harlan's bride? Will Hanawa trade in her bow and arrows for a bow? Stay tuned. Until next chat.
This scene was cool. I'm watching I'm like, what are they wearing? He's like you said, like this fern and leather. And I think the handmaiden said when she was taking the bath, like, you cannot have anything on your body. So I'm assuming they're just like butt naked underneath these things.
Unadorned.
Yeah. And they just have this drapery of
Sex Panther.
Whatever that was. But I had a little bit of PTSD when I was watching this scene because that prayer that Queen Kane was saying is the same one from season 1 where we first meet her. And I was like, and the glory. And I was like, oh no. I had flashbacks. I was like, oh, that's that same
well,
prayer.
You know how much the queen loves to pray.
Yes, she loves to pray. I'm a little disappointed that she wasn't going through with her normal ritual during this scene. I'm like, why wouldn't you?
And now we all pray.
Why would you not pray?
Yeah, no one could see it. So.
Yeah, like that would have made sense to me.
Well, maybe she doesn't really believe in
but
this prayer.
those words, literally, when she said "and the glory," I was like, oh, that's right.
Oh, was the Lord's Prayer?
That was that scene. Yeah, that was the one. I literally kind of like shivered a little bit.
Did you feel it in your nethers?
I felt it in my nethers. Yeah, I was like, that's yep, those are the words.
That's how you know prayer works.
You feel it in your nethers. Anyway, screw Tofu.
Yeah, Tofu sucks.
His like disapproving glare the whole time, like bro, get over yourself.
I mean, I can understand where he's coming from, but at the same time, it's like the show should know better than to make such a big deal out of this.
At this point, I have
the show is purposely making us dislike this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a bumbling, idiotic, whiny little,
but that's kind of
just inconsiderate little fool.
That's the point, though.
Yeah.
He's been raised as this just little cave dweller guy with a secret who has had to stay hidden his whole life, was never trained to fight, was never trained to use his other senses, was just kind of allowed to just be like, okay, yeah, fine, you can see, just go
He's
be that.
the epitome of a spoiled kid.
He is. And now that he's in like the epicenter of like where shit is
the Game of Thrones.
The Game of Thrones, yeah. He's at court basically. And now things are starting to happen and he's gonna have to get real fucking savvy real fucking quick.
Is this like is he the Sansa Stark? Like the whiny little bratty girl
that's a good
who got thrown into the Game of Thrones and then she came out the other end wearing all black and being a freaking savage. Is that what's gonna happen?
I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah, he's gonna get raped by a Bolton.
But you know
Toadfoon.
Toadfoon would be very gentle.
Yes, he would.
Oh my God! Stop.
He'd make it special. He'd light some scented candles.
What happens next? God damn it! No. Oh, I just dropped my straw. All right, continue.
All right,
Mr.
so
Kadish.
the Valea tribe confronts Baba Voss and his companions as they enter their territory. Paris proclaims that they are the last of the Alkany tribe until Bowlion shows up and says, "No, I'm the last." The band is all back together now, and there was much rejoicing.
You really got excited about that.
I was very excited for Bowlion. I missed her.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I feel like they didn't need to bring her back, but the fact that they did just so we could see like, oh, there's Bowlion, and then like she doesn't show up for the rest of the season, that's fine.
No, she's still they just were like, yeah, she's still alive. She's still kicking around.
I was just like, remember that time when she was all dressed in mud? And she was like, hee hee. I love her.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
It's funny to me that like I don't know if they ever would in this season, but they don't mention any of that stuff. It's like they just kind of like, that just never happened. They're just like, don't worry about the whole like shadow thing. Like you'd think she would still be doing that kind of stuff, but now she's like,
that was the prelude to the real story.
Yeah, she's like, oh, now I'm a healer now or whatever. She's learning a new skill.
Listen, she's a healer almost, and she's a shadow. She can heal in silence. That this girl is powerful.
How long has she been with that crew?
6 months.
It's been 6 months?
It's been 6 months since the end of
that's not
season
long
1.
enough to learn a new trade.
Well, she said she was still learning.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that in a bit.
But, I don't, it was cool to see her, but I'm kind of with Kate. I'm like, you didn't need to, but it's cool that like, oh, there's a little nod to season 1.
Don't yuck my yum.
Sorry. Continue, Mr. Kadish.
All right, so Kofun is back at the palace, and if they had a 9 Inch Nails 500 years in the future, he'd be playing that music while cutting himself and writing bad poetry. Queen Kane finds him sulking in his room, and when Kofun confronts her about being a total bitch, she turns things around on him and makes him think it was all Magra's fault. Then she goes full Cersei Lannister on him and gives him his first ever big sexy kiss, officially starting the incest subplot, which I hereby dub cocaine.
Well done, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hashtag cocaine.
He's trying to be funny.
He's trying to be funny. What are you downing everybody for, man?
Vader hates the incest subplot.
Oh,
Yeah,
I do
really
too.
does.
I do too. Because here's the thing. Look, did you claim it? You called it first, right? Like 2 episodes ago?
I did.
Was you?
Yeah.
Okay. One of you guys did. I think it was Kadish.
I think we all knew
Anyway.
this was going to happen. Vader was the only one that didn't accept it.
I didn't want it to happen because when we say like, oh, this show wants to be the new Game of Thrones, I don't mean that literally. You don't have to have the incest subplot. So like when this happened, I already didn't like Tofu, and now this happened, and now I'm just like,
He can die now, and I wouldn't care.
yes.
This is how they're going to make his character more interesting.
I don't
He's
need
going to get literally
it just
in
makes
bed
this-
with the queen.
No, stupid.
But Magra is his mother, and those two have to betray each other, and he's going to be torn.
It's an unnecessary.
I do not see
plot
it
point.
to be a realistic extension of his character to fall in love with Queen Kane.
I didn't say he was going to fall in love with her. He loves Toad. He's going to get in bed with Queen Kane.
You're gonna give this poor guy a seizure. He's just like, no, I just didn't need it. I'm like, I know you guys said you saw it coming, but I'm like, I was like yeah, but please don't. And then it happened, and I'm just like, damn it.
I mean, this is literally why they killed Boots, so that the queen can get all up on, because she needs a sighted child.
I get that, but why him?
Because he's the only one.
Yeah.
Like
she doesn't go to the House of Enlightenment and pick one of those dudes?
Is he just that dumb that he's going to fall for this?
Yes. Ugh. I think it's clear he's dumb.
I know, but that makes me mad.
I mean, he missed out on all the strange and like the sex orgy. So, you know, any lady that's going to show him some attention.
Knows she's she is his aunt.
He's never known her before. To him, she's just like any other woman.
Yeah.
But he knows that that's his mom's sister.
And he knows all about genetics too. So.
Yeah, and they made
That's true. They do know about genetics.
It's basic genetics. Like, hello, this is a bad idea.
It's like second cousins.
It's so messed up, and it makes me just hate.
It's like Jon Snow and
Daenerys. Dude, people were so ready for that. It was weird. They were like, "Oh, I hope they bang."
I always thought it was weird too.
It's super weird. I think the show did it just to make fans happy, and then they just screwed off the rest of the season.
I don't think
Benioff and Weiss.
Yeah. That scene didn't need to happen in Game of Thrones, and I don't think this needed to happen here. But who the hell am I?
Kill Kofun. Just kill him. I'm kind of over him.
I don't like him.
I don't either.
I don't like him at all.
Yeah, and this show just keeps making him worse and worse.
I know.
Especially in this episode.
I was so hopeful that they were going to like turn his character around and make him cool, which they might still be able to do, but it's going to be an uphill battle now.
At this point, he's completely useless to me.
If he falls for this and just is a pawn for Cain, cocaine.
Stupid.
I like it.
I do too. It's very clever, but also
I think it's good.
I think it's smart.
Oh, did we get to the part with Lord Harlan yet?
Not yet.
Okay, continue. I got to talk about that. It's hilarious.
All right. So back in Travantis, Edo Voss is meeting with Colonel John Shepard, the military, and informs him about the sighted children in Queen Cain's family. Edo says the Pensons are the ones who broke Tamakta June out of their dungeons, and that Queen Cain is raising an army to attack Travantis. The military is still more worried about the Ganites than the Pensons, but due to these developments, the military says he'll get the council to agree to a diplomatic delegation to meet with the queen. Edo is not happy about this, but the military says the diplomatic route will give them time to bring a battalion or two of soldiers to the Eastern Front. For now, Edo must be content with that.
I love Shepard playing 4D chess.
Yeah.
That was awesome. And Ito's like, no, we can't do that. And he's like, you will follow orders. And I was like, oh, okay. That's freaking Shepard's on it.
Yeah.
I liked it. Yeah, it was cool. Like bossing. You can't boss somebody like Dave Bautista around unless you're like freaking up here. And I like that power play that they had.
I like the fact that he has somebody pulling his strings.
Yeah?
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like
you're talking about Ito?
Yeah. He's not the almighty. He's the general, but he's not in charge.
Mm-hmm.
He's the general puppet
in the
grand scheme of the puppet show.
Yeah.
So it brings him down to earth a little bit.
It does, yeah. It grounds him, which I kind of like.
He's the military's master tactician, but the head guy, I kind of want to see him fight. I want to see what kind of thing that Colonel Shepard brings to the table.
Like staff skills or something, I bet.
I'm sure something. Everybody has to, especially the leader of the army.
Yeah. You don't get to be the leader of the Travantian military without forgetting a lot about murder.
Yeah.
I love dudes who forgot a lot about murder. This is something I just recently realized. Oh my God!
What's the actor's name? Joe
Flanagan.
Flanagan. Yeah, I'm so happy that he's in this. It's cool to see him. I mean, I get a little nostalgia nerd.
Yeah, I need to go back to where the sighted kids are. See what McKay's up to now.
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed that we didn't get any David Hewlett in this episode.
That was a heck of a cliffhanger last episode, and I think it'll pay off. They're not going to
something. They're not going to forget.
They're not going to forget about that. Okay. So continue. I like this little power play. Right. It's good stuff.
So at the Valea village, Bo Lion shows off her healing skills on Baba Voss. The Valea elder welcomes the remaining Alkene to their village and apologizes for not taking them in before because of their fear of the Witchfinder general. However, the sentiment is almost ruined when Tamakta June enters and is prepared to commit suicide by pissed off villagers. But Baba Voss is able to drag him outside before he can announce himself and tells him his penance is that he must live with the guilt of what he's done. As Baba Voss leaves Tamakta June to wallow in his misery, we see Bo Snow Lion has used her shadow skills to eavesdrop on the whole conversation, and she's not happy.
My favorite part of this scene is Henoa doing the little hand thing.
Yes,
like, bro,
we needed some more of that.
Yes. Dude, Tamakta June just walked in. And he's like, oh shit, I gotta go. And he gets up and he covers his mouth. The whole like, what did you say? Suicide by angry villager?
Yeah, pretty much.
It was very accurate. Yeah, he was ready to be like, I am Tamakta June. I have killed half your family. Come and take your vengeance.
Which would have sentenced the rest of them to basically death too.
Yeah.
Like,
This
don't go out as a literal bomber.
The whole like depressed Tamakta June, we need to get over that.
He needs to act up.
We need to get over that real quick.
Yeah, I need him to find a new mission.
Yes. Yeah. Which I think they're gonna go that direction.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't like this version of Tamakta June, but I understand its purpose. I get it. But I'm like, come on, let's get back to the freaking guy with the blades.
It's
and he jumps off the cliff and kills everybody. Like, that's my Tamakta June.
Yep.
I appreciate it. I hear it. Move on.
We don't need to dwell on this depression. We're good. Just
tell
keep
me
going.
more about how you murder people.
Yeah. She's such a weirdo. What did you think about this little confrontation, Vader?
It was interesting. I don't know what to say.
Okay.
It was I like you said, I like the way she told him it was there and the little secret language they have.
This is how they work together, a sighted person and a blind person. Like having Henoa do that kind of stuff, like I feel like Tofu would be like, Baba, did you see that guy over there? Like, it would just be some doofus way of saying
he would just go, oh my God, Tamakta June just walked in.
Did he write it on the wall?
Nobody else can see it. He's like, Tamakta June. No, but Henoa's got a brain, and she's like, hey, bro, go take this guy. Okay. Yeah, I like that kind of stuff. This is good moment. God, I hate Tofu so much. All right, continue. What happens next?
All right, so in Pensa, Magra goes back to her chambers hoping to find Kofun, but instead finds Lord Harlan in bed, ready to celebrate his wedding night. Yeah, all right.
He got no pants on.
So Magra doesn't want any of that non-Baba Boss dick and tells Harlan to put some pants on and help her find her actual husband. Harlan and Magra find Harlan's brother Kerrigan at his favorite bar, and Magra enlists Kerrigan, who has a smuggling trade with the Travantes, to go and try to find Baba Voss and Hanoa and get them out of the city. Kerrigan reluctantly agrees to do it as a wedding gift.
I love these characters together. Magra, Lord, what's his name? Harlan. And then his brother.
Kerrigan.
This little trio that we have going on, I want more of that.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And that scene, oh God, I laughed out loud when she walks up and he's just like strutting his stuff in front of the fire, like freaking Burt Reynolds on a bear rug, just like, hey, what's up, baby? And she walks up and like touches his thigh and then stops and goes, put some freaking pants on. Like, this is not happening.
Yeah.
I love it. I love the fact that Magra's got like, she's got her goals. She's not going to be tricked. She's not going to be played with. She's like, no. This ain't happening. We're going to go do what I'm actually here to do.
I think Harlan was throwing a Hail Mary just to see.
To see what would happen.
He was like, this can be whatever you want. And I mean, like, also. It can be what I want too.
And here it is.
Which
If
might
you really
end up
want it.
being what you want.
Yeah. It was hilarious. I laughed, especially her. I don't know. It sounds weird to say, but her facial expression when she realizes he doesn't have any pants on, it made me laugh. I was like, God damn it, Harlan. You freaking dog, you. He's just, like you said, throwing a Hail Mary. But then when they go out and they find his drunk brother, and they're like, hey, we need you to do me a favor. That little quip back and forth.
When Kerrigan was like, oh, is my brother not up for it?
Yeah.
I'll be at your service. I'll be at your service, lady.
Yeah. And he's all like, you want me to find who? All right, I'll do it when the God Flame comes up. And they're like, no, you're going to do it right now. He's like, okay, fine. It was just comical. I love the trio. I love this little work that they got going on.
I want them to go like solve a mystery.
Yeah. It was cool. I love
you
it.
guys need a mystery van.
They're all like in their own, like, they're like, don't tell Queen Kane. We're going to go do the cool kid shit.
Yeah.
But this is also how they're going to get Ren out of there.
Yeah, she's gonna be pissed. I'm wondering now, like, where is Queen Kane's power coming from? Because, like, literally, she's the only one on her side. She doesn't have anybody else loyal to her.
The Ganites. I'm telling you, that's where they're going with it.
All right, I hope you're right. I hope you're wrong about Tofun, and I hope you're right about the Ganites.
Well, we'll see.
You hope I'm right about tofu?
No, wrong. Did I say right? Oh, God, I got some drinking.
All right, so Bo Lion tracks down Tamakta June, who is passed out at his camp, and intends to kill him until Paris uses her teleportation powers to come out of nowhere and stop her.
She is very good at that.
Paris tries to explain to Bo Lion why they need Tamakta June, but Bo Lion is having none of it because he killed her mother, and she calls them all traitors. She gives them until sunup before she informs the rest of the Valea about his presence.
Okay, so Paris is a compass girl, and they literally came out of nowhere. So she does have that power. It's already been set up, and now it just paid off.
Yeah, but she snuck up on a shadow. So.
Yeah. Well, she's a shadow
She's
herself.
a compass.
She's a compass? What's better, a compass or a shadow?
Shadows are more silent, but they're not deadly. Compasses are silent and deadly.
You know what I really liked about this? I think it might get revealed later, but Tamakta June was not unaware.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that.
Yeah, I like
later.
that. I like that stuff. But anyway, I'm kind of glad that Bo Lion kind of stuck to her guns.
Yeah.
No, F this dude.
Yeah.
And she was not having, we're like, oh no, just because he's doing you guys a favor means I'm supposed to forgive him.
Well, it also turned her against her last surviving tribe members.
Yeah. Yeah. It's,
I gotta say, like, it's impressive that Bo Lion, you know, not only is she skilled as a shadow, but she also has, you know, like trained as like a healer, like a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things that I thought when she first showed up, I was like, shouldn't she be like 6 months pregnant by now? Because she was hooking up at that orgy,
It
right?
doesn't always take the first
maybe it doesn't.
time.
Yeah. It's not a one-time thing, bro.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the only reason she went there was to get a baby put in her. And
She did it to satisfy her mom.
She was wearing
That
more.
sounds weirder than I meant it.
I was gonna say, strange choice of words there, dude.
She did have some more layers on.
Yeah. Her mom wanted her to go and have an adventure.
But they made it a point in season 1 to show her hooking up with a dude there. And so like I was just like, why isn't she pregnant?
Yeah, because we don't talk about season 1. That's
This is
why.
true. This is true.
Yeah.
It's just let's just put that behind us. We're gonna move forward now.
That's such an easy thing to write off.
Yeah.
Didn't take.
Didn't work out. That dude was.
Yeah, you pulled out.
He had terrible semen. His semen couldn't see.
She just cracked herself up. Did you see that?
Couldn't see where it was going.
Just swam.
Wrong hole.
Yeah.
What happens next?
All right. So at the Pensa Palace, Magra finally tracks down Kofun and finds that Queen Kane has already gotten her hooks into him, metaphorically. Kofun confronts his mother about betraying Baba Voss, but more importantly asks the question every single person watching this show has had since the first season, which is, why didn't Magra announce herself when Kofun and Hanawa were babies and save the entire Alkany tribe?
Yes.
Thank
Magra
you.
replies that Queen Kane would never have accepted any sighted children that weren't her own, even though the way things played out, she would have just needed to have convinced Tamakta June that the babies were royal family and get him to protect them and lie about their sight, but whatever. That's a season 1 problem. Anyway, Kofun starts acting like a total dick and accuses Magra of resenting the sight of him and his sister, then calls her out on the wisdom of using her new husband to rescue her old husband. And though I hate to admit it, he kind of has a point.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a couple points, and I'm also glad that they took the time to address the whole issue.
Props to the writers for like bringing that up because that was a big thing.
Everybody at the end of season 1, everybody who was watching it was like, "What the hell?"
Why wouldn't she just say that earlier and solve the whole problem? I'm glad that they went through the effort of like addressing this because it was a major thing where we were like, what the heck? Although the answer that they gave us could be argued, you bring up some plot holes, but I mean, what are you gonna do? When you're dealing with a problem from a season that you didn't write and you're just trying to correct it,
Is there a better answer available?
yeah, really, is there a better answer? Magra screwed up. Sorry, moving on.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
We're
cool.
trying to do better.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just want to point out that, Kofun has said the only smart thing that he's ever said in this entire show, which is about how, Magra could have announced herself, even if she didn't do it when they were babies. Like, she could have done it the second time when her children were grown, saved the entire Alkany village, and been like, oh, these are Baba Voss's kids. They can't see. There are no witches here.
Yeah.
Like there's just a lot of stuff that probably could have happened if she had just like pulled the princess card, at least with Tamakta June, and she didn't. And I feel like I appreciate that they tried to address this issue, but I don't feel like they did a very good job of doing
They
so.
They didn't give her response wasn't very good.
Yeah, yeah. They didn't do Margaret any favors, but it
She just kind of
points for addressing it.
She just kind of came off as kind of a selfish bitch, right?
Well, then Baba Voss wouldn't have gotten to show us his sweet boat that he had been making.
Anything Tamata June can do, I can do bigger.
That was a pretty cool
It was
boat.
Jerla Morel.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. All right. I forgot completely about that guy. His head got chopped off. And
That was awesome.
So did my interest.
I'm sorry I made you remember.
I have this this vision in my brain of Ito doing the exact same thing to Kofun.
And
That's
Kofun,
like a season 3, like end of season 3.
Kofun doesn't even see it coming.
Thank God. Yes, that would be awesome. Yeah.
It would be. All right, Mr. Kadish, what happens
All right,
next?
so back at Tamaktajune's camp, he has a little talk with Paris about all the people he killed, and he tells her about his near-death experience where he actually had a vision and saw the faces of everyone he ever murdered, and how he knows what a vision is or what faces look like is anyone's guess, but the fact that he knows all the people he killed while being unable to see his wife and children who died in the Payan flood is haunting him. I mean, he hasn't seen his wife and kids for 25 years, so you got to wonder what the point of that was, but whatever.
Well, he went back, didn't he?
No.
He did go back, but
He didn't see them. He was about to kill himself.
yeah, he was just going to kill himself.
He was on a 20-year mission.
It was 25 years.
Yeah, 25 years.
So Paris tells him that all these years Tamaktajun has fought for darkness, but now he must fight for the light, even though neither of them know what light is or their society considers darkness sacred, but whatever, we don't watch this show for continuity.
You
Tamaktajun,
loved being able to write that, didn't you?
I did.
He's been waiting. He's been waiting for to take a shot.
Tamaktajun tells Paris she shouldn't have stopped Bowline from killing him, showing that Tamaktajun is such a badass that he's even conscious when he's passed the fuck out. Paris tells him not to worry, he'll have plenty of opportunities to die. And Baba Voss announces there will be no more stopping until they reach Pensa, and the group gets back on their journey, planning to reach their destination in 2 days' time.
Okay, so let's address some of the things that Kadish just said. So the vision that he had, I can see their faces.
So,
Can you?
I would think that they were probably doing some kind of a metaphor or
Sure.
something like that where, you know, the way that they see faces is by touching and feeling. So if he's
like
touching,
real blind people.
yeah, exactly. And he's like, oh, I know what this person looks like based off of, I've touched them. I've felt their face right before I stabbed them in the ear. So that's kind of what I got from that. I don't think he's actually seeing people's faces. I think he's just representing.
But just using the term vision, seeing faces.
That's for our benefit, I guess. I don't know.
I guess that
That
just didn't bother
was
me.
written directly for Kadish.
Yeah.
Because the show creators felt bad that the show was getting too good. And Kadish can't hate on anything.
This felt like they brought back some season 1 writers to do this episode.
I don't know. Again, I understand its purpose. They have to have Tamaktajun down here before he can come back up here. But I'm like, okay, yep, we got it. Yep, he's regretful, and now he's moving forward with a new mission in life, and he wants to do something
He
good.
has to atone for his past sins.
So let's start atoning with blood. I'm good. Let's go.
Yeah, but I mean, like Paris's whole like fight for the light, but it's like they call light God flame. They don't know. They have no concept of what light is.
Light,
It's warm.
warmth, fight for the good things, fight
Yeah,
for the
but-
good side.
But
I-
Paris does because she's a compass girl
Oh,
who
that's
comes
right.
from books.
Good point. Good point. But you think that she'd be like fight for the God flame or something like that. But their society does consider darkness sacred. I mean, Queen Kane's whole religion is based around that.
Speaking of that, I wanted to credit the show real quick. It was something I noticed in this episode, and it's probably been in other ones, but for whatever reason, this was the one that really struck out to me. There's never any light.
Yes, I noticed that too. And I gave credit when Bowlion was coming out, and I was like, God, it's so dark. And I was like, no, but that makes sense.
Yeah, because they wouldn't care. And the same thing when they were at the bar in Payan,
Pensa.
sorry, when they were at Pensa and they walked into that bar, there was no lights, no
Yep.
candles, no nothing. It was just dark. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, the
why
only
would they
flames
be?
that they have are there for warmth.
yeah. And it was just a nice little attention to detail.
Yes.
I'm sure the showrunner's like, well, duh. But I'm like, I just watched it. I'm like, oh, that's cool. You know, that they're not like trying to make it look cooler for our sake.
No, but in season 1, I believe we did have lanterns in the dam that we made fun of.
They had like this weird fire pit.
Oh, with the council or whatever.
Yeah.
And they had like a giant fire pit in the middle. That could be said it was for warmth, but it looked an awful lot like.
Well, they do have to film a television show.
I know, I get it. I'm just saying it was a nice attention to detail. That during the night scenes, there weren't like random torches or lamps or anything like that. It was just cool.
So Jude found out something interesting about Hanawa this past week, which is a different TV show that we noticed her on. Do you want to tell everyone?
Oh, another.
Oh, I'm just mad when I realize people are from other shows that I've already watched, and I'm like, God damn it, why didn't I catch that? But I think a lot of people out there, like we did, loved the show Travelers, and Hanawa was Carly from Travelers, but she looks older in Travelers, which was like 5 years ago.
Nesta
than she does in
Cooper
this.
was one of the main characters in the show Travelers, which was made by the guys who did Stargate. And so she's got some major sci-fi cred. And I didn't even recognize her in C, because like she's playing like a girl who's like in her teens in C, but like in
Travelers, she's like a
like
single
in her 20s,
mom.
yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I haven't seen it, but now knowing that it's got
I
some.
love that show. I was very upset when it got canceled, but now that I know that she's on this, I'm like, oh, okay.
Go rewatch it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that's an excellent show, by the way.
What platform?
Wow,
is it
she
on?
looks way older.
Yeah.
Let me see. Oh wow.
What was it on?
I think
Amazon?
we watched it on Netflix actually.
Okay, I'll go check it
It's
out.
on
Then.
there.
I'll put it on my list.
But you know, it just goes to show kind of like how versatile of an actress she is, because like, you know, she played an entirely like different, like she was like a tough character. She was like someone who was like former military and kicking all this butt in Travelers, and then in this show, like it's like she's like a pensive teenager thing.
She's also kind of a psycho.
A little bit. She's better than Kofun though.
Oh my God! Thank God she's better than Tofu.
Do you think we're ever going to get a situation where Hanawa and Tofu are at odds with one another?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
They're
I
gonna have
hope
to
so.
fight each other.
I hope so.
I hope so too.
I hope Hanawa kicks his ass. Stupid brother.
I mean, Hannah was just going to rule the whole kingdom.
Tofu is technically older than her. I know they're twins, but I watched the first season last week just to kind of catch
You
up.
did?
Yeah, I did. And
The whole first season?
yeah, I binge watched the whole thing just for kicks. It was goofy. Yeah, he was born first, and Paris was like, "Oh, it's a baby boy," and then the girl came after.
So the next episode is called The Dinner Party, and it looks like the Baba Voss crew is going to finally be reunited with the Magra crew. What are your predictions for next week?
Well, Baba Voss just straight up waxed Harlan's head off.
I'm more concerned with the fact that they just sent Kerrigan to go to Cervantes.
Well, they're going to capture him.
So do you think he's going to pass Baba and be like, oh shit, I was on my way to find you. Come on. Or do you think that they're going to miss each other and he's going to end up in Cervantes?
I think he's probably going to end up in Cervantes and then try and play some kind of a coup.
I'm wondering if Kerrigan is secretly in bed with Ito. If
He does have spies.
He does have spies. So like, I'm wondering if like Kerrigan was planning to overthrow his brother with Ito's help or something like that.
Maybe.
Interesting.
I want to know when the Clevelandites are going to show up.
The Clevelandites, the Ganites.
The Ganites, whatever.
They're led by the girl from Stargate Atlantis.
When are the Detronians going to show up?
Detronians?
No.
Detronians.
When are the Canadians led by JCVD gonna show up?
That's got to happen. All right.
Season
anyway.
4 producers get JCVD to lead the Canadians
You guys are
down
so
south.
weird.
What if it happens? Then you'll be like, damn, I should have been on board.
I mean, who would want to see Jason Momoa versus Jean-Claude Van Damme?
It's the second week in a row we talked about that. I'm down. Anyway, I don't know what's going to happen next episode. I have no idea. If we get a sex scene with cocaine, I'm going to be pissed. I'm just not.
Why do you hate all sex scenes?
It's not that. I don't like Tofu. I'm so over him. He's just the worst. That's all I can say about it. I don't want him to do anything.
You just don't want him to have sex with anyone. You don't want him to have sex with
Not
Toad.
his aunt.
You don't want him to have
No,
sex
it's
with
gross.
Queen Cane.
No. He should be a virgin forever.
Can he just masturbate? Would you be okay with
Can he
that?
pray?
If he prays,
All right.
sure. Have his aunt teach him how to pray. Ooh.
Oh my God, that's totally what's going to happen. She's going to be like, how familiar are you with the gods? Give me your hand.
So gross.
I need to pray. You need to make it happen.
I'm kind of upset that they haven't told us how Tamak Tajun survived a knife to the heart.
They're not. They're just going to be
Season
like,
1.
It was
that didn't
just,
happen. Season 1.
yeah.
Chalk it up to bad
Just,
writing.
just left of the heart.
Yeah,
we don't watch this show for continuity.
No, it's just this is a different.
There's a lot of things wrong with this show, guys.
Kadish is nitpicking.
And it doesn't
Don't fall
really
into
matter.
his trap.
I'm not falling into his trap.
No.
I just understand that there's a lot of weird little plot holes that weren't addressed, and I don't really care.
Well, when you get called and say,
it just is.
"Hey, can you take over this show for us?"
Yeah.
And then you go back and watch season 1, you're like,
Yeah.
I got an uphill battle on this one.
Yeah.
Well,
They're doing a great job.
They are. There's some things where you're just gonna be like, I can't fix that.
I have no issues
We just have to move
these
on.
shows making course corrections and
Yeah.
corrections and fixing some things and moving on. I mean, lots of shows have done it.
For sure.
You know, Star Trek.
How many times have
every single Star Trek series has done that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so
It's just part of making shows.
Yeah. My
Especially when
favorite-
you changed writers and stuff.
My favorite series of all time is Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and like the first 3 seasons are rough. But it ended up being like the best show for me ever.
Okay. I have no idea what's gonna happen. Do you have any theories
Kofun will die
in this season?
No way.
at some point. I hope so. I'm just dreaming.
Theories are not the same thing as wishes.
No, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. And I like it that way.
Okay. Jude, what are your theories?
I think the queen is going to teach him how to pray. I don't think he's going to be into it, and he's going to have a very tender love affair with Toad.
Oh my God.
Jude, you got to stop.
Kadish?
I agree with Jude.
No.
I quit. I'm out.
I think if anything's gonna happen with Toad, it's got to be that he's like he feels bad for how
Well,
much.
I think Toad is going to be like his Kofun's protector, right hand man,
Yeah.
type thing, and you know the queen is definitely going to try to poison Kofun against his family, and she needs him to have the sighted children. I do think that Kerrigan is going to, go to Ito, and we're going to find out that they are allies. There's a bunch of stuff that's going to go down next episode, just with like the whole Harlan, Margra, Baba Voss triangle. I think Rin is probably going to escape and go warn them about something. I don't know.
So all the trailers that we've seen for season 2, they lean real heavily on like Baba Voss gets the badass freaking samurai armor, right? Like we haven't seen that happen yet. I'm wondering where that confrontation is going to come in, where he's like leading an army versus his brother's army.
Well, don't forget the Travantes are sending a diplomatic delegation to Pensa. So we're going to get that. And I wouldn't be surprised if Queen Kane just murders them all and declares war or something
All out
like
war
that.
against
What if
Travantes.
they come upon Baba and Baba just kills them? And then the messenger from them is like, listen, we tried, but they murdered us. Now we got to go to war.
The real interesting thing is going to be what happens when Tamak Tajun sees Queen Kane again. And like, is he going to, like, is Harlan going to murder him too to keep Kane's secret? Like, how's that going to work
I think
out?
that's going to be the one time we see Tamak June shut his mouth and keep it
I
that
don't
way.
know. He wanted to die this episode.
Yeah, but I think he really
also-
wants revenge
he
for his
wants his
family.
vengeance, yeah.
Like Queen Kane.
Tamakta June's going to go through and go get all his boys back together.
Yes.
He was getting Toad and
And his albino guy.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully Albino guy's in season 3 because he's
Yeah.
definitely not in this season.
Spoiler alert. Yeah, we kind of found that out the hard way, but
his name is Witchfinder
AU or something?
Arayu.
Arayu?
Arayu, I believe.
Guy's so badass.
Christian Sloan. Shout out to that guy.
He has cool facial hair.
He does.
Yeah, when they moved production, they changed a lot of their extras, and I guess he was.
Well, he's from British Columbia, Canada, and they're not filming in that area anymore. And they
Listen, he is no extra.
He was
is a main character in our headcanon.
Yeah, he's actually the star of the show.
Yeah.
he has a name, so he's not an extra, and he is Tamakta June's
Right hand guy.
his
lieutenant or
his
whatever.
seer.
His centaur?
The guy that can
His presage.
the guy that can like tell you how many horses they're riding.
Oh,
and
okay.
shit.
Ooh.
That's what he does.
Okay.
I researched his character a little
like
bit.
that.
He's his dude. You remember like when the battle was with
Mhm.
they got 44 horses and 112 footmen and 6 dogs.
And their
That's
soldiers
what
are
he does.
angry.
And their shoulders
Yeah,
are
yeah,
angry.
yeah.
I feel anger in the air.
And they're kind of hungry too.
Remember how goofy that was? And they're like,
They smell like leather and horse shit.
Peacock feathers and horse manure.
And that's why he rode up front with Tamakta June.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I want him back.
he has super.
That's freaking Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid right there.
He definitely needs addressed.
Yeah.
I feel like he's the one who saved Tamaktajun's life, and then Tamaktajun sent him on a secret mission that's going to take him a long time.
That's exactly where I'd go with him too.
Season 3 is just going to be this story.
I would be okay with that.
I would be all right with that too.
Because he's going up to Detronia and, and talking to some people up there.
Or you can go down south.
Yeah, go to
the West Virginians or something.
The Miamins.
The Miamins.
All right, so we've got Jean-Claude Van Damme, leader of the
Canadians.
Canadianites.
The French Canadians.
Who do you think is the leader of the Ganites and the Detroitians?
It's got to be somebody from Stargate.
Yeah.
Oh, what if it's MacGyver? What's MacGyver's name?
Richard Dean Anderson?
Yeah. What if he came back?
He's retired from acting.
It's Teal'c.
Teal'c. Yeah, Teal'c would be dope.
Yeah.
No, it would have to be someone that Jason Momoa worked with on Stargate. What about Robert Picardo?
Yeah, that could be.
Could very easily be.
Or the little Scottish doctor dude. What's his name?
I don't remember.
Yeah, the guy in Atlantis. He was the doctor.
I know who you're talking about. I can see his face. I don't know his name though.
I forget his name too.
What about Jewel State?
Any of them. Bring them all back. Just make this like a Stargate adjacent
Stargate thing. Yeah.
Yeah, the final episode, they all find the Stargate.
Yeah, they rep the Stargate out of the world. They happen to be in like some alternate universe, and they Stargate back. Yeah,
Daniel Jackson.
Yes,
Daniel Jackson leading the Detroitians.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm in.
I wouldn't hate seeing some more Game of Thrones characters.
Also. Well, they're all Game of Thrones characters.
No, yeah, like the actual people who played in Game of Thrones.
Really?
Yeah, I kind of want to see like Peter Dinklage come rolling over and being like, yeah, I'm the leader of this tribe. And it turns out he's like really fucking badass.
I'm the leader of the little Dinklings. We have a tribe of midgets. They can't see. But,
The bloods run thick in that tribe.
the Oompa Loompians.
All right, we're going to get ourselves in trouble. That's it. We're done. We're gonna get in trouble. Thank you guys for joining us on today's episode. We are here every single week talking about this show, and we will be here as many seasons as this show has. We will be here talking about it. So we are the unofficial official C podcast for you. Come check us out.
Unless
Share
somebody
this.
comes and burns the studio down.
Throw some whatever.
The self-professed official, unofficial C podcast.
Officially unofficial.
Yes.
We're really full of ourselves.
We are a little bit. We are a little. It's all right. It's the only thing. We got to take a win.
Somebody talked to me on Instagram once.
It's not wrong. Vader, where can they find you on the socials?
You can find me at Matt Vader 74 on all the socials: Instagram, Twitter, YouTubeage,
YouTube.
Blah blah blah. Yeah, those
everywhere.
Places. Yeah.
Right on. And Jude, where can they find you at?
You can find me on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram at I am Jude Juju.
Mr. Kadish?
You can find me at Matthew Kadish, Kadish on Twitter, and KadishBooks.com takes you to my Amazon page.
And I'm your host, Alex, the Salty Nerd. You can catch me on our Discord app. Go to saltynerddiscord.com and come join the community. We have a ton of fun talking about this show in particular. That chat is always going off, having fun talking about this goofy show. And that's it for us today. Please like and share. If you are not subscribed, hit the subscribe button and let us know what you think of this episode in the comments below.
Also, you going to tell them about Foundation?
Yes. Our members only. If you guys like the stuff that Apple TV has been putting out, like Mythic Quest is one of our favorite shows. This show, they're coming out with Foundation, and that's going to be a members only TV show that we review just for our club members. So join the club. Go to saltynerdclub.com and join one of our tiers, and you can get access to our exclusive members only Foundation reviews. So if you like what we're doing here, we're going to do that even more for Foundation. So join us, join the club, join the community. All right, everybody. As always, stay salty, my friends.